Hey guys, today I just want to spend a little bit of time reviewing some things that hopefully you remember about functions and before we start graphing. So first, this is evaluating functions. So you have a function, the f of x is 2x squared minus 5x. Evaluate the following. So f of 3 just means I'm going to put the 3 in where the x was and evaluate. So I use parentheses, so in case it's a negative number, I remember to square the whole thing. So this is going to be 2 times 9, which is 18, minus 15, and my answer is going to be 3. I'm not going to do all of these, but I just want to go over some of it. So number 2 is function of x plus the function of 3. So the first one, I have to leave in the x. So the function of x is 2x squared minus 5x, plus the function of 3 would be to put in the 3 where the x is. We've kind of already done that, but so we're going to have 2x, this should be 5 times 3. So I have 2x squared minus 5x plus, and then we said this was 18 minus 15. And then we would combine like terms, and the only like terms we have are the positive 18 and negative 15. So I would get 2x squared minus 5x plus 3. And that would be my answer. Okay, the same thing would be true for 3 and 4, but I'm not going to do those for you because otherwise the video will be way too long. Okay, so the input values of a function, or the x values, are called the domain. The output values, or the y values, are called the range. So there's a bunch of different ways that we notate a function. So, for example, this is called set notation. And basically, we have domain and range for each set. So our domain would be the x values, and the range would be the y values. And in order to be a function, you have to put in one value and get another value out. So the domain for this first one is really only going to be A and C, because B didn't give us anything. And then the range would be what we got out of that, which would be the 1 and the 3. For number 2, we have A, B, and C as our range, or as our domain, or x values. And then the values we got out of that were 1 and 3. So our range would only be 1 and 3. All right, if you have a set of points, the domain are all your x values. So I have 7, negative 3, 1, 5, and 2. And you should put them in order, lowest to highest, or smallest to largest. So I would start with negative 3, 1, 2, 3, and 7. And then the range is going to be the y values. Negative 2, 5, negative 4, and 5. So I start with negative 4, negative 2, 5, and 6. All right, and then on a graph, this is the important part. The domain on my graph is from negative 4, and then I keep going forever in this direction. So I would say negative 4, and it gets it should have a bracket. Negative 4, and it goes to positive infinity. And the infinity always gets a parentheses. And then in the y direction, it goes from negative 2, and it goes straight, keeps going up forever. That's what that arrow means. So since the dot was filled in, it gets a bracket. So negative 2 to infinity would be my range. Okay? So then let's look at what positive and negative mean. So positive means when we are above the, what am I trying to say? Positive, when the output values are greater than 0. Sorry. So we say it is positive when it is above the x-axis or when the function of x is greater than 0. Okay? And then we say the function is negative when the outputs are less than 0. So the function would be negative when the graph is below the x-axis or the function of x is less than 0. All right, so we're going to look at this function, and we want to know where is it positive and where is it negative. So it's positive from here to here, and then from 0 all the way over to 5. So from -4, we're going to assume that there's an arrow there. So from negative infinity to 0. So when you're doing positive and negative, it's only asking you about the x coordinates. So from negative infinity to -4, and we're going to use a parentheses, and then from 0 to 5, okay, and we use parentheses because technically it can't be equal to this number, so it's just every number below it. All right, and then it's negative down here from our -4. It stays negative until it gets to 0. So from -4 to 0, and from 5 to positive infinity. So 5 to positive infinity. So that's how we write that. Okay. The domain and the range, the x values are all x values and the y values are all y values. So the domain is, we would say, negative infinity to positive infinity. Or we could say all real numbers. Or we could use this symbol that looks like kind of a double R. And then the range is the same. So the y values, negative infinity to positive infinity, all real numbers, or the double R. Okay, let's look at increasing and decreasing. So increasing, the function is increasing. As they're going up. All right, so as you're going uphill, the function is increasing. The function is decreasing as it's coming downhill. So it's decreasing here. And then a function is constant if nothing is changing. So if it's straight across. All right, so where is the function increasing? So it starts going up from here to here, or from -2 to 1. Remember, we only want the x coordinates. So it's increasing from -2 to 1. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and write the decreasing part. Decreasing, so it's coming down. We're going to assume there's an arrow there from infinity or negative infinity to -2, and then it starts decreasing again here. So we're going to say from 4 to negative infinity. So it's decreasing from negative infinity to -2. And from 4 to positive infinity. And then where is it constant? It's constant here. So from here to here, from 1 to 4, it's constant. Okay? Sorry, I know this is a lot. Then we have end behavior. So end behavior asks what happens at the ends of the graph. And so it's saying there's two ends of the graph, the left and the right. End behavior is asking what happens to the output values. So we're looking at y values as the input values are getting smaller. Okay? So we would say as x goes to negative infinity, right? Because the input values are getting smaller. What is the y doing? Y is going to something. Okay? And then it's also asking what's happening to the output values as the input values are getting bigger. So as x goes to positive infinity, what is y doing? Okay? So let's look at this first one. It says determine the end behavior. So if I look on the left part of my graph, right, what is happening to my y values? So x is going to negative infinity on this side. Y is going up. So we're going to say y goes to positive infinity, or the function goes to positive infinity. And then on the other side, so here's my x going to positive infinity. My y is going down. So we say it's going to negative infinity. We're not going to worry about limit notation. All right, and so we're going to say the same thing here. As x goes to positive infinity, oh, we switched it up this time. All right, so as x goes to positive infinity, which is this way, where is my y going? My y is coming down to 0, and it's not crossing 0. So my y is going to 0. Sorry, that's a terrible little arrow. Try that again. Okay? And then on the left side where it says x is going to negative infinity. So now I'm looking on this side. My y is coming up here. It's going to 0 again. All right, that's everything in a nutshell for all the different things. So if you have any questions, just let me know.